Everybody, welcome to What the Flick. Bibbs. That one.
My name is Christy. Hi. Hello.
She's the one you forget?
How does my brain do that? I'm swallowing too much tin
She's
foil.
the most famous one of all of us. How did you do that?
Random blonde chick on the end.
It's not enough coffee. And Alonzo, I think. Anyway, London Road is a British true crime musical that is making its way around.
Yeah.
Tell us about it,
This is
Christy.
Christy. So it's a really interesting combination of stuff. And I love the daring of it, and I love the ambition of it. So this was a London stage musical first. And it's inspired by the 2006 killings of 5 prostitutes in Ipswich, England, and this one particularly working class street called London Road. And these prostitutes had been walking the street there, and then several of them were killed. And so Alecki Blythe is this actress and a writer. She went and talked to people who actually lived on London Road, and she took clips from transcripts, and she took bits of what the anchors and reporters were saying. And then she, working with, I'm blanking on whoever wrote the music, someone who wrote the music, they worked together to take these verbatim statements and work them into songs with every and like and you know in them. So they talk like this, and we were all kind of scared. Yeah, we were all kind of scared. It could be anyone. It could be you. It could be you. And then they sort of try to, I don't know, arrange it with some vague sense of choreography in this stripped down kind of bleak working class neighborhood. And it's mesmerizing and hypnotic and repetitive, and I don't really know how I feel about it still. Take a look.
As soon as that verdict's in, it's going to be absolute mayhem.
3, 2, 1.
We got a lot of bad press.
You've been, as far as I'm aware, about the only person that has actually come down here and asked residents how they feel.
So we got together as a community.
We just want to see an end. London Road getting back to being London Road.
You're right. I love what they're going for here. I mean, they get a 10 for cheek,
Originality.
for chutzpah in trying to do this thing. The execution, though, I'm not as into, because you're right. What sounds like a cool idea, we're going to take eyewitness accounts and set them to music. Then winds up being, we're going to take about 4 lines out of an eyewitness account and set it to music and repeat it over and over and over and over again within a song. And then that just becomes kind of numbing after a while.
Because none of the songs are like songs. It's not like you're going to go humming any
No.
of these songs. I mean, they're like sing-talking. It's almost like Andrew Lloyd Webber-y kind of like sing-talking.
Well,
and it's-
Umbrellas of
it's-
Cherbourg,
yeah,
kind
right.
of,
But that's like
Rex
those
Harrison,
songs-
My Fair Lady.
Right, but those songs are like
But those are-
beautiful.
Yeah, but-
Umbrellas of Cherbourg are like, those are beautiful songs.
But Umbrellas of Cherbourg has like gorgeous songs, but then it also has people talking about fixing cars and what, pass me the thing on the table, But yeah, this is just the sort of quotidian bits. And I like the idea of turning a crime scene or a potential crime scene into a place for choreography. So when you have like the 2 women walking through a crowded diner and there's all these men there and they all look suspicious, and the men all realize that they look suspicious because there's this Ipswich Ripper is running around. Or you have like everyone's at the Christmas market, but it's very sinister, and all the women are being given like alarms from the local radio station. There's some really cool stuff there, and I suspect this would be like a great 20-minute short or even like a 50-minute TV thing. But as a feature, it kind of wears out the gimmick.
It's only an hour and a half long. It's not that long. And I wonder also, like, if in the theatrical setting, does the artificiality of it make more sense?
Perhaps, I don't know. I didn't see the stage play. I do think they're after something a little bit different than some of the films that we were just talking about. It isn't about catchy music. I don't think it's trying to be catchy. I think that's fair. Doesn't necessarily mean it's good, but what I feel like they're doing here is not using a musical in order to articulate sort of larger than life moments and emotions the way we often do in typical musical. I feel like what we're looking at is the idea of a musical, a world in which everyone is sort of coming together to sing a song as sort of an analysis of everyone's group think. And in a community that is beset by a slasher, by a maniac, everyone is riddled with the same paranoias and anxieties about everyone around them. I thought it was a very fascinating way to look at that sort of, not quite mass hysteria, because it doesn't build to, pitchforks and torches. But
mob mentality.
Yeah, that repetition creates a sense of a whole community. It's a story of an entire community. And I hadn't seen that done in a way that I think was this effective, but I do agree it does get a little tedious a little quickly. But I admire where this story eventually goes, because how the community ends up dealing with the serial killer in their midst isn't necessarily healthy. And I actually think I admire the film for condemning what they condemn.
It is kind of damning, because the people in the neighborhood, while they are horrified that there is a murder in their midst, they never like having the prostitutes there either.
Right.
And they're very, very negative about them. And the film sort of reflects that, in that they make you wait quite a while before the prostitutes have a voice and get to communicate their own issues. And then once it's made that point, it makes it and it makes it and it makes it and makes it. And it's like, by the end, you're like, okay, yes, I get it. The residents are kind of have been terrible to the sex workers before, during, and after the murders.
Yeah.
But they really lay it on with the trowel by the end, I thought.
Well, although I found the prostitute scene, when they do finally get their song, I found it to be quite poignant. Because
sure.
There's a delicacy to it that is unexpected and that does not really exist elsewhere. There's a stridency to the tone of this throughout. And the prostitute song is like lovely and sad, and the way it's shot and the way it's lighted. But I love Olivia Colman, though, as a reflection of this town's inner conflict, because she's not afraid to say, like, I didn't want them there anyway. You know, she's not afraid to give voice to the uglier.
The idea that like the murders are sort of an upside to all this, because at least we got rid of the prostitutes.
And now we have more flowers on our yards.
Yeah, and again, all interesting points. But then I think by the big finale, it's like, oh, come on, movie, we get what you're saying already.
We should also mention really fast, not nearly enough Tom Hardy.
No.
Although after hearing how well he can sing, I would actually say perhaps exactly enough Tom Hardy. He's a many multifaceted, talented man. He is not going to be releasing a Christmas album anytime soon.
He is charactering the shit out of that song.
He's great. He's great. But when you think about, like, because this is not a film for a lot of people to belt numbers.
No.
Like, Olivia Colman's very talented. Some of the other actors are very talented. But this isn't a showcase for anybody. And I think this is the musical where Tom Hardy can show up. Like
in one scene.
Well, it's not like Les Miserables where you're watching the entire thing. It's just like, oh my God, Russell Crowe, where are you, fucking Javert? That killed me.
I think that apart from Olivia Colman and Tom Hardy, that these are all the original West End cast doing the film, which is cool. So yeah, I mean, I really admire what this movie's going for, and I think it succeeds in a lot of ways. I almost think it's worth seeing, but it is ultimately a little disappointing.
Right, it's worth seeing because it's so different and so strange.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your number then?
I believe I split it down the middle and said 5.
Yes, I said 6.5.
I think I said 7.5. The novelty got me through, and I think it was an interesting narrative experiment that I would recommend people check out.
Yeah, the fact that, like, I'm still thinking about it. How often do we continue thinking about movies that we've seen like days or weeks or later on, things, it's a sieve. The brain's a sieve. So our number is a 6.3, and it's at 74% on the tomato meter. So if you want something different and strange, this is definitely different and strange. Bye.